Hello everyone, I'm J-Funk, and with 11.2 PTR on the horizon, I wanted to give my feedback for Shado-Pan Monk. With 11.1, there was a lot of success of Celestial Conduit, and it's really good, still to this day, but I think Shado-Pan has kind of fallen behind, and even though I think it's on single target right now, currently it's only 3.5% behind, it feels more broken, and it feels like it needs more of a rework than Conduit does. I have a lot of proposed changes that I made in a custom tree that I'm going to show now. So I think mostly these changes are designed to make Shado-Pan more exciting to play and more fun. The tuning would actually have to be like up in the air, but I want Shado-Pan. I think Shado-Pan's more of like an AoE focused hero talent choice, and I think that I would like to see it more of like a funnel thing. So first of all, for flurry strikes, I made the damage of flurry strikes is increased by your haste. I think thematically that makes sense. It does suck for brewmasters, but I think this could be good, a good way to increase the damage. One of the problems with Shado-Pan right now is that the damage of flurry strikes is not scaled very well at all, and it's kind of pathetic. Like the damage, I think it's only like 4% damage on like single target fights, which is kind of sad. I know that the rest of the tree is providing value, but like I would like it if like the most value that I'm gaining from my hero talent tree is the main effect, which is the flurry strike. Uh, so I think increasing the max stacks to 20 would be cool, and making the damage scale with haste. Um, I've changed this left node here a little bit, where I buffed it to 20% crit instead of 15, and then flurry strike crits have a chance to generate a flurry charge. If the max stacks of flurry charges was 20 instead of 10, and it was actually like sort of hard to reach 20, this would be really nice and kind of cool. And then for high impact, I've buffed the damage by 60% roughly, and the main change is that I believe with high impact, you can make it good if indirect damage from flurry strikes would apply this. So what I mean is, like, if you have a shadow flurry buff and you flurry strike and it hits all these targets in AoE, if they are damaged by the shadow flurry indirectly, like in the AoE, it should apply high impact. If that was done, it would make high impact very good. In Mythic Plus, it would be very strong in big pulls. Like in Cinnabrew Meadery, the first pull, it would one target dies and they'd all explode, which would be sick. So that would be the suggestion I would make. It's probably the easiest to make. And then for these nodes, I've buffed them because I've changed it so that these are the only defensive nodes on the tree. So for Protect and Serve, it's 50% of its total value. Instead of 30, it's up buffed by a little bit. And then also, it applies this value and heals you, even if you use it on, if you heal someone else, right? Idea here is kind of turn it into like an off healing thing where you heal someone else and you heal yourself as well. Could be fun, kind of like whack-a-mole. You just every 10 seconds you get a Vivify proc, you heal someone. Seems cool. Or you can heal yourself for more. Either way. And then I buffed Lead from the Front by a lot, from 20 to 50, and then any excess healing that exceeds your max HP is converted into an Absorb Shield. I think this is really important to make this actually like useful as a defensive node, and this is the only one. I looked at the healing and I looked at the damage that these things do on a fight. So Chi Wave and Expel Harm on like a 7-minute Gallywix kill is like 14 mil. So like this would heal you for like 7 mil or shield you for 7 mil, which in a boss fight currently lines up. It's fine. Like it's probably around the same as like the conduit defensive nodes are giving you for the most part. Maybe a little bit weaker, honestly. So it would be fine. You could cheese it with Chi Burst and AoE potentially, but I think that's okay. The other change that I made was I replaced this defensive node, which I think Whirling Steel, and I think Whirling Steel is useless. I think it's very underwhelming. You don't even notice that it happens. You don't care about it. And I think Predictive Training is unhealthy design for the game, because for Windwalker, it's useless. Unless you're doing open world stuff or you're getting meleeed randomly for some reason, it's useless. But for Brewmaster, it's insanely overpowered. It's 10% permanent DR basically, and that's crazy. The juxtaposition and usefulness, that is nuts. So I just removed both of them and I replaced it with a utility node, which falls in line with the design of other hero talent trees. Now, one of these is kind of OP, so I have Xiaohou Spear. So Spear and Strike has a longer range, much longer range, like 15-yard range. And when you interrupt people successfully, it silences them for 3 seconds. This is a callback to how this ability used to work in like Mop, where if you interrupted a target, it would silence them. It's kind of nice. The extra range on interrupt is nice. and being able to silence people is kind of fun as well. And then I have Favored Winds of Pandaria. This is a mobility node and allows you to double jump. Only for Brewmaster and Windwalker Shado-Pan. You can double jump. I'm not sure this is encroached too much on the design of the H or not, but I think it'd be cool because it'd be kind of like an overlap of Shado-Pan, Windwalker, Brewmaster has double jump, but they don't have glide, and then Evoker has glide but no double jump, and then DH has both, right? Being able to get double jump somehow is a different class, even if it's like very specific. Seems kind of fun. It would open up some new mobility options for you. I don't really know how useful it would even be, really, but it'd be cool. So that seems exciting. Besides that, to go along with my Windwalker change, instead of giving SCF cooldown reduction, this just has a chance. Energy spent gives you a Tiger Brew charge. And then lastly, I think my feedback would be on the Wisdoms. So for the Wisdoms, I think the Wisdom should happen as right before you trigger Flurry Strikes. As in, like, the order of events would be like you trigger Flurry Strikes, and then before the Flurry Strikes do damage, you get the Wisdom of the Wall buff, and then they do damage. So you benefit from that. That's like the biggest change that I would want to see for Wisdom of the Wall. That'd be really nice. It means if you get a Shadow Flurry proc, you can actually like benefit from it. I've also buffed some of the Wisdoms here, so the dodge and crit one is really bad. I just doubled it. It's still probably not great, but it's better. It just kind of does whatever. And then the Mastery one I've also buffed, so that Flurry, while you have this Wisdom active, Flurry Strike damage is increased by Mastery. Could be fun. Probably OP for Windwalker because you have so much Mastery, but cool. One thing that I'd want to see change, especially going into midnight with the add-on stuff, is right now it's really impossible to parse which Wisdom buffs that you have naturally in the UI. It's just not possible because they all have the same icon. My suggestion would be like to theme each one of these buffs around a notable Shado-Pan member, like Taoshi or Terranzu or whoever, and they all have different icons. So you can at a glance very easily like parse if you want to track these things. Oh, I have this one, this one, this one. Okay, I know what buffs that I have. Because some of these buffs, especially the Shadow one, can influence your decision making and what you do. If you want to edge out another Flurry Strike on an AoE pack, it's a big deal. So that's my feedback for Shado-Pan for 11.2 and beyond. Hopefully we see some of these changes, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.